Recently, SEC put out a memo telling Nigerians to be wary about investing in P1 marks and P1 real estate company, saying that their operations are likened to that of a fraudulent Ponzi scheme, and anyone that decides to go ahead to invest with them does so at his own risk. Question now you may have is it true that P1 is a Ponzi scheme? Or why exactly is SEC now interested in P1 despite the fact that they have been in operations in Nigeria for over 10 years? In this video, I'll be providing answers to these questions, and I would also talk about the real estate buyback scheme that I think is the reason why SEC is now interested in P1 real estate company. Hi, my name is Ogochukwu Okolocha. I'm a personal finance evangelist, and on this YouTube channel, I talk about money, personal finance, investing, business, and anything that pertains to how best you can use the income you earn today to create transgenerational wealth. If you just found this YouTube channel, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button, and I assure you that every minute you spend on this channel would be worthwhile. Now, let's look at the memo that was released by SEC. I will be reading from the second paragraph. The Commission hereby informs the public that P1 and P1 marks are not registered by the Commission either to solicit investment from the public or operate in any other capacity within the Nigeria capital markets. Investigations have released that P1's operations exhibit the typical indicators of a fraudulent Ponzi scheme, including the promise of unusually high returns and failure to honor withdrawal requests from subscribers. Accordingly, the public is strongly advised to be wary about investing with P1 or P1 marks, as any person who places such investments with these entities does so at his or her own risk. The Commission similarly reminds potential investors of the need to verify the registration status of investment platforms via the Commission's dedicated portal www.sec.gov.ng/CMOS before transacting with them. This got a lot of people worried. In fact, there was a lot of discussions on Facebook, on Instagram, and even on Twitter in the course of the week that this memo was released. Some persons used the opportunity to air their grievances with P1. Some of them said that they bought land and was not even allocated to them. Some people said that they even have court cases with P1, and they are so happy that SEC is saying something about this. Personally, I've always had concerns with P1, not because I think it's a Ponzi scheme per se, although we're going to talk about why SEC thinks that they are Ponzi scheme. My own concern is their model of business for investors. Now, for the business itself, using network marketing and real estate as an underlying product is a great idea, right? So they have over 1 million agents, like I heard, and they have properties scattered everywhere in the country. But my own worry is that does these properties that they say they have, do they really exist, or they are just using network marketing to keep on recruiting people and selling lands? So when I saw this notice from SEC, I was like, oh, interesting. So SEC is also having these concerns that I also have. And that concern I've had with P1 is this their buyback scheme. And it's not just them that is doing it. A couple of other real estate companies have got involved in this buyback scheme. Now, question you may have is, what exactly is this buyback scheme? This is a scheme where a real estate company tells you that you can invest a certain amount of money with them, and they will give you a post-dated check and land as collateral, right? So it's like an investment opportunity, short term. Some of them 12 months, some 18 months. This one here I have is 100K to 999K in 12 months. That's about 40%. And then 1 million to 4.99 million. It's about 45%. So this flyer, I got it from the internet. I didn't design it myself. So this is from P1. And I've seen a couple of other flyers like this that promise a very high return in a short period of time. If you have watched a couple of my videos, you'd have heard me talk about how the higher the return on investment on a particular opportunity, the higher the risk. The higher the risk means that the higher the potential for you to lose your capital. But these real estate companies say that it's low risk. They try to package it as an opportunity where you can't lose your money. In fact, they give you land as, collateral, or they tell you that even if they can't pay you the money back when the tenure ends, the land belongs to you. Concern I have there is that they don't give deed of assignments for those lands that they tell you that you own. The only thing they give is receipt and maybe contract of sale. That land doesn't actually belong to you. The only time a property belongs to you, to the best of my knowledge in this country, is when there's an actual deed of assignment or similar kind of documents is issued to you. And that thing they do is to give you the post-dated check. Like I said, post-dated check would carry the promise to return, right? So that gives some form of comfort, because no company will want to issue a check that if you go to the bank and bounce it, because in Nigeria, if you issue a dot check, you're going to be fined by the bank. In fact, I think your account can be closed and then you'll be reported either to CBN or to EFCC. However, there are some companies that have done similar kind of model in the past and crashed. Some of us may have heard of Oxford Real Estate Limited, right? So they had opportunities for people to invest like this, and they were giving 40%, 50% in 1 year. In fact, at some point they were doing 6 months, and it was working for a while until they crashed in early 2023. It was SEC that went and sealed their offices, and that stopped their operations, and they had to start refunding back investors' money. But they were not even able to refund every of their investors' money, and that is the risk that comes with giving real estate companies money to invest for you, because these guys are not financial institutions. Financial institutions have experience, they have capable hands, and they also have insurance. The likes of Azamazad, Leads Assurance, FBN Quest, and so on, they have their own insurance, just like banks have NDIC that insures consumer deposits. These asset managers, these legitimate asset managers registered under SEC, also have insurance. So even if anything is going to happen to these companies, there's a way that your funds can be returned back to you. You're not going to have fatal losses, as in the case of Oxford Real Estate Limited that crashed sometime in 2023. And the interesting thing about Oxford Real Estate Limited is that they were using investors' funds to do something else aside from real estate. I read that they had barbing salon, they were involved in other form of trading, just to see how they can turn over the investors' money quickly. Now, this again is a challenge when it comes to money, right? It is easy to turn over 1 million. It's easy to turn over 10 million, right? 100 million. Yeah, it can be easy to do 30% on 100 million. But now when you have raised 1 billion or you have even raised 10 billion, that's where the concern is. How easy is it to get a 30% interest on 1 billion naira? Even if you do it this year, can you repeat the same next year? So now you're promising your investors that you give them 40%, right? How possible is it for you to be consistent over time, where you have promised all of your investors a fixed time that you're going to return their money back to them? So one of the challenges with investment schemes like this is it exposes the company unnecessarily, because unlike the stock market where depositors or investors withdraw or invest at different times, when you invest in Ponzi schemes or when you invest in real estate schemes like this or any investment schemes like this, people tend to want their money out at the same time. If you can remember, Agro Partnership, Farm Crowd are the likes that were using farm and poultry as the underlying asset for their investment scheme. They crashed, and some people think that those guys were Ponzi schemes. No, they were not Ponzi schemes, as I often say. They were just an investment opportunity that was exposed, right? So at some point, Agro Partnership was raising 1 billion per investment round. So imagine they promise investors 33%, and they're supposed to get 330 million on top 1 billion. This is minus their profit. So they have to make profits. They also have to cover for cost of operations. So let's say, give or take, for each round, within a 7-month period, Agro Partnership had to raise about 400 to 450 million naira on top of the 1 billion. And they had to return back 1 billion plus 330 million to investors. So anytime they get money within a 7-month period, or was it 9 months, they had to return it back. So imagine getting 1 billion within a space of 7 months, you have to return it back. That is where the exposure comes, because any little thing can happen and then you default. So Agro Partnership defaulted, and it led to panic. Now everybody wants to get their money out and nobody's going to want to invest in a new round. So these investment schemes like P1 is operating, what they do is that they use new investors' money to pay old investors, because you and I know, if you are a savvy investor or a financial literate, you should know that real estate is a long-term game, right? In Nigeria, it's very difficult to turn over capital via real estate in 1 year, right? You need maybe 3 years to 5 years. Even if you have all of the money, you need maybe 7 months to 8 months to complete that building before it gets ready for sale and before people start renting it and pay you for returning back to investors. So the gestation period for real estate is too long to have such kind of investment scheme. And this is where SEC is worried. And in Nigeria, in fact, anywhere in the world, for you to collect money from people and promise them a return, especially when it's a fixed return within a period of time, you must be licensed by SEC. This is why SEC is saying that P1 and P1 Max are carrying out operations in the capital markets, and they have not been licensed to do that. A similar kind of investment vehicle to what PMAX does is commercial paper, right? So commercial paper is a short-term instrument where investors invest their money, and within 6 months or 9 months, they get their capital back. And this is regulated by SEC. Another example is mutual funds. So these are short-term instruments that are regulated by SEC. So what P1 Max is trying to do is similar to REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust. Real Estate Investment Trust is also, regulated by SEC. So in Nigeria, we have some REITs that are available for you to buy, listed on the stock market. So if you're looking at short-term investments, so you want to invest in January and get your capital plus interest back in December, I wouldn't recommend you to consider real estate proper. What you can look into is REITs, commercial papers, mutual funds. These are short-term instruments where the risk is low. Remember that the higher the return on investment, the higher the risk. So trying to get into real estate and get that within 1 year is like trying to shoot yourself in the head. Some people will get lucky. Yes, even with bad investment opportunities, like for example, Agro Partnership, I escaped. I didn't lose any money. I remember telling some of my friends back then in 2021 that this investment opportunity was not going to last for a very long time. Some people thought that, it is insured by Leadsby Assurance, and as such, investors will not lose their money. But eventually it happened. So I escaped. So I can't go and start telling you that because I escaped, then you should go ahead. So some real estate companies have started this buyback scheme, or whatever it is called, and they have been consistent in paying investors over the last 2, 3, 4 years that they started. That does not mean that they cannot fail, right? So Agro Partnership paid investors for about 3 years before they failed, right? So it can happen. It doesn't necessarily mean that P1 or P1 Max is a Ponzi scheme. It just means that the model of business is not favorable to investors and even to them as well, because any little thing, any little millions of naira that gets lost or that gets misappropriated, they will struggle to pay back investors. Now, P1 can get away with it because it's a big company, right? They say they have 1 million agents, so they're always selling properties. They're always making money, they're always raising money. They do a lot of events in Lagos. It's a big name. But how about other companies? That's my concern. A lot of these smaller companies are coming up trying to use the same P1 model. Some of them are promising 60% in 1 year. Guys, avoid such investment opportunities. If you want to do real estate, buy land or buy property. Let them give you documentation so you know that you own it. Forget about this get rich quick mentality that you want to invest in real estate now and get rich in 1 year. No, that's not the way to go. Invest by buying the actual property. Get your documentation and keep it so that even if in the future the real estate company closes down, you know that you have your documentation. It has a seal from the government, and that's how you actually create generational wealth, by owning assets, not by trying to get rich quickly through several investment schemes. So this is my own thoughts about P1 and why SEC has called them out. So this also can translate to other kind of investment opportunities that are short term. There are some people that are doing what's called food storage, where they are promising people a high return on their investment in a short time. Guys, be wary about get rich quick opportunities. That it's paid pizza, paid Paul does not mean to pay Adama. It might be your turn when that opportunity will crash. And like Seka said, investing in such opportunities is at your own risk. By the time it crashes, don't go about trying to drag the company because you have been told, right? So think about investing in legitimate opportunities. If you want to get your money out within a short period of time, consider bonds, consider commercial papers, consider mutual funds. If you want your money back in, say, 5 years or more, then you can consider real estate. I hope this has been helpful to you. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.